Ooh, Islam, women have no rights. How did the world look like prior to Islam? Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, said a woman is a malformed male, a natural defect. He also said the male is ruled by nature, but the female is ruled by men. Demosthenes, another Greek philosopher, didn't think too highly about women either. He said, we have prostitutes for pleasure, concubines for daily bodily use, and wives to bear legitimate children. Hear, hear. Plato, another Greek philosopher, believed in rebirth, and he said that all men that are cowardly will be reborn as women. Even Hippocrates, which is seen as the father of medicine, he said, woman is weaker, wetter, and inferior in every bodily function. But it's always the Christians that like to talk bad about Islam. How about Christianity? How about the early church fathers? Tertullian, one of the earliest church fathers, said, woman, you are the devil's gateway. Ooh. He also said the woman destroyed God's image. Men. Augustine, another church father, didn't even know if women have souls. He said that women alone do not bear the image of God, only men. Tertullian, another church father, even said, because of you, even the Son of God had to die. But let's get to Paul, shall we? Because most Christians nowadays are not truly following Jesus, they're following Paul. First and foremost, he said, the woman was created for men. Moreover, he wrote in his letters, I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Women should learn in silence, in full submission. But maybe you're Catholic and you don't care about the earliest church fathers and you don't care about Paul. Thomas Aquinas said, the woman is a misbegotten male. Judaism is not much different on that subject matter. In the Talmud we read, it is better that the words of the Torah be burned than taught to a woman. And there is a prayer for Jewish men as well, where they thank Hashem, which is their God, and they say, blessed are you who has not made me a woman. The Talmud says as well, happy is he whose children are male, woe to him whose children are female. Even in the Roman Empire, when it came down to rights for women, they were grouped in with children and the mentally disabled. But even the Buddha wasn't too fond of women, he simply saw them as spiritual obstacles and temptations for men. And even the Arabs in the Jahiliyyah days, the pre-Islamic times in Arabia, they saw women as inferior. Matter of fact, you could marry as many women as you wanted, and they were burying daughters alive. Yes, alive, because they thought that women are inferior to men. They didn't want to have daughters. Take Islam now as a contrast. Islam states that it's a great blessing to get a daughter. Matter of fact, the daughter could be a means for you to enter Jannah. In Islam, paradise is under the feet of your mother. Islam gave women inheritance rights. Islam gave consent to women so they could decide who they want to marry. That was impossible beforehand. And most important, Islam declared that women and men are spiritually equal before God. Of course, there are differences between men and women. There are certain treatments for men and certain treatments for women, depending on our differences here in this world. However, we are spiritually equal before our Creator. Women in Islam are honored and not owned by the men.